On behalf of the entire Economic and Commercial Commission of the Village of Tinley Park, I welcome you to the 2022 Business Breakfast. My name is Jay Walsh. I am a Tinley Park resident, business owner, chairman of the Economic Commercial Commission. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank both the Tinley Park Village staff and the Convention Center staff for all their hard work putting this together this morning. So thank you. Today, more than 1,500 businesses are turning plans into profits here in Tinley Park. With our tremendous business climate, we know that the Village of Tinley Park will be an effective partner in helping grow your business and new business in our community. Thanks to the pro-business leadership of our mayor, board, and the strategic planning of the ECC, Tinley Park is the first and still the only community in Illinois with the International Accreditation in Economic Development. Tinley Park stands as the model of economic development excellence with financial strength and business diversity that is unmatched in the Midwest. As part of our proactive business climate, we know that the Village of Tinley Park will be an effective partner in helping grow your business. At this time, we would like to please join me in recognizing our elected leaders of Tinley Park that help keep our community strong and progressive. Mayor Michael Glotz. Clerk Nancy O'Connor. Trustee Bill Brady. Trustee Michael Mueller. Trustee Bill Brennan. Trustee Dennis Mahoney. Trustee Colleen Sullivan, and Trustee Diane Galante. Thank you for all your service. I'd also like to acknowledge the hardworking village staff who work tirelessly every day to help keep our community moving forward. First, Village Manager Pat Carr. Assistant Village Manager Hannah Lipman. Fire Services Administrator Steve Klotz. Chief of Police Matthew Walsh. Marketing Director Donna Framke. Director of Human Resources, Angela Arrigo. Public Works Director, John Urbanski. Community Development Director, Kimberly Clark. And the Director of EMA 911 Communications, Lisa Cordum. I'd be remiss if I also don't recognize the Tinley Park Economic and Commercial Commission, which includes appointed local business leaders who study and recommend actions that will improve our business climate. The commissioners review issues and make recommendations on real estate maximization, finance and incentives, marketing, and business retention. I'm very fortunate to work with these outstanding business leaders. Please stand and remain standing while I call your name. Commissioner Dennis Reedy. Dino Sanfilippo. Rich Osti. They're the only ones not in a badge in the corner of the room over there. So, Christine O'Badge. Brian Potter. Chris Shoemaker. Adam Golden. Daniel Fitzgerald. And our Commission Secretary, Kathy Congreve. Now I'd like to invite Brandy Caffarelli, President of the Tinley Park Chamber of Commerce, to the podium to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start with recognizing Our board of directors, if you can please stand, if we could give them a round of applause for everything they do for this amazing organization. The Village of Tinley Park welcomed a dozen new businesses during the pandemic. Numerous ongoing construction projects, expansion, and future development in the works. The Chamber, in conjunction, has remained steadfast with over 400 members. And our prominent monthly membership meetings welcome several members for networking and experienced networking and village updates. Over the past 2 years of uncertainty, the Chamber also experienced a demonstration of resilience. Businesses work together, navigating the ever-changing pandemic rules. The officers and board of directors of the Tinley Park Chamber of Commerce is thrilled to be working with their new executive director, Mary Kay Campbell. Collectively, we will be implementing result-driven educational and collaborative opportunities to expedite the resurgence of success for our members. We are ready to grow and serve our members, acting as a venue and partner for the businesses to succeed. The Chamber, as a business partner to their membership, advocating for the growth and prosperity of the business district. We serve as a resource gateway to network professional development and workforce government advocacy resources and community connections. We are hosting a prospective new member night at Sip Wine Bar in Tinley Park on Monday, May 23rd. Please stop by our table on the way out for information on this event. Thank you to the Village of Tinley Park for hosting.
Next, Mayor Michael Glotz will present the State of the Village report. Mayor Glotz was elected in April 2021, previously serving as a trustee and chairing the Public Works and Community Development Committees. He and his wife, Christy, have lived in Tinley Park since 1994 and have 2 children, Katie and Kyle. He and his family attend Parkview Christian Church. Mayor Glotz is a member of the Local 150 Operating Engineers and was a union steward for Local 150. Through many years in the field, his experience has been utilized by his company to manage many large projects and assist in sales due to the positive relationships he has developed with clients. Mayor Glotz has volunteered as a girls softball and boys baseball coach for the Tinley Park Bulldogs organization and the Southwest Raiders travel baseball team in Orland Hills. Recently, he was appointed to the Together We Cope Board of Directors and is recognized for volunteering throughout the community. Please help me welcome Mayor Michael Glotz.
I hope everyone's enjoying their breakfast and the great company that you have. A big thank you to the excellent Tinley Park Convention Center staff for the wonderful food and the fantastic service today. I hope you'll settle in with another cup of coffee because we have a lot of really great information to share with you this morning. It's no secret that Tinley Park is a great place to live and work. Our business community lies at the heart of our great village, which provides the economic fuel needed to sustain our growth and ensure Tinley Park remains successful long into the future. The village board and I have taken a pro-business approach to governing, resulting in what I believe are sound fiscal policies, unmatched business diversity, and expanding growing tax base. Businesses expect a lot from all of us, and I wouldn't have it any other way. After all, it's our job to create the climate for your success, and I hope we've been meeting that expectation. The COVID-19 pandemic and the ensuing economic hardships were very complex for many communities. Still, Tinley Park fared well and is in an excellent position for growth in the coming months and years. The board and the village staff have made intricate cuts to their budgets to ensure the village could continue to deliver quality service on a smaller budget. We kept in constant contact with our small businesses to offer whatever help we could to help keep them afloat. We sent our businesses regular Noteworthy News email newsletter containing loads of great tips and links to provide funding opportunities to give them the best chance so they could survive. We hosted live webinars that provided information on available COVID relief funds. We created the Open Eats listing to encourage people to take part in curbside delivery so they can continue to patronize our local restaurants. We waived licensing fees and we supported creative outdoor dining options for restaurants, and we continue to encourage people to shop in all of our local stores and all of our messaging, because doing so helps ensure the tax dollars go right back into the community that we all love. Tinley Park businesses have the advantage of being in a great location serviced by two beautiful metro train stations and near the intersection of two major interstates that give easy access to the city of Chicago. And in the coming years, we build upon our Life Amplified brand, thanks to Donna Framke and our marketing team, and expand our tourism enterprise. Even more people will know about Tinley Park and want to visit us. Everyone here from the village board on down is pro-development, and everything we do is geared towards maximizing our land. Tinley Park has an impressive number of development opportunities underway. Last year, Brixmore Property Group began construction on the Tinley Park Plaza Shopping Center on the east side of Harlem Avenue, just south of 159th Street. The first tenant, Burlington, moved into a beautiful new space last September, and I am pleased to announce that Amazon Fresh will be opening up in the remaining anchor tenant space this fall. With the success of Phase 1, Phase 2 redevelopment plans are already underway. Across the street from Tinley Park Plaza Shopping Center on Harlem Avenue is another exciting project. The former Super Kmart building is being redeveloped into a warehouse for Pete's Fresh Market. In addition to the warehouse, construction of a brand new 88,000 square foot Pete's Fresh Market grocery store is underway. Further south at Harlem Avenue and Volmer Road, the Skinnell property will be building a brand new 110-acre business park. This development will include 1.3 million square feet of floor space over 3 industrial buildings. It will bring numerous jobs to the area and property tax revenue to the various taxing districts. One of the most exciting new developments is our Loyola Medicine Southwest Ambulatory Care Center at the southeast corner of LaGrange Road and 179th Street. It will be a 2-story, 72,000 square foot medical center on nearly 26 acres. This outpatient clinic will house an ambulatory medical clinic for primary care, a range of medical specialties, and a cancer care center. The center is slated to be operational in 2023 and is expected to bring countless additional jobs to our area. Downtown Tinley recently saw the completion of a beautiful 300,000 square foot mixed-use development called Boulevard at Central Station. This building is 4 stories tall with nearly 30,000 square feet of retail space located in the heart of our downtown, adjacent to the Oak Park Avenue Metro train station. All 65 residential apartment units in Phase 1 were occupied immediately. I'm pleased to share that Papa's Popcorn Shop is opening up next week on the first floor, and the additional businesses that will be occupying the remaining commercial space will be announced very soon. I'm also happy to announce that Bang & Gavel Brewery project, located at the southwest corner of Oak Park Avenue and Hickory Street, has secured financing and has started construction. Once completed, the Bang & Gavel will have a brewery, restaurant, and a large outdoor patio. To support downtown businesses, it is important that there are new residential homes within walking distance of our downtown. Developer D.R. Horton is in the process of getting plans approved for a brand new subdivision located within 1/4 mile of our downtown. The site, formerly an industrial zone property and home to Panduit Corporation, will add 81 new single-family homes and 162 townhomes when they are complete. Tinley Park is maximizing its economic development skills to support redevelopment. Smoothie King will be building on the former Brown's Chicken site at 159th and Oak Park Avenue after a tax reclassification. And when it comes to tax increment financing, We have some of the most successful TIFs in the state of Illinois. Now, thank you, Brad Bettenhausen, if you're in the room. All of our TIF districts are supported by sound financial policies, and we have excellent working relationships with our partnering taxing bodies. One of the newest TIF-induced projects is the Floor and Decor, which recently opened in the former Burlington store next to Hobby Lobby. That project is located within the 159th Street and Harlem Avenue TIF district, which has been incredibly successful and forecasts well for future projects in that area. One of the most significant and exciting properties ripe for redevelopment includes the 280-acre former Tinley Park Mental Health Center property. Roughly at the center of town at 183rd and Harlem Avenue. Our staff and Pat Carr have been working with the State of Illinois Central Management Services to help us purchase the property from the state. Things were going well, and we had a deal in place. But unfortunately, our own Senator Michael Hastings refused to introduce the legislation to start the sale process. Instead, he chose to brick the project, and he stopped the village from acquiring this land. This cost roughly 3,500 construction jobs and approximately 1,000 permanent jobs to Tinley Park. He blocked our community from earning roughly $6 to $10 million in revenue per year. It's a shame because this property would almost certainly be a total game changer for the village once it's cleaned up and developed. I'm confident we'll find a way around Hastings to develop this property and bring home a win for Tinley Park. The village made a successful business deal in the purchase and then sale of the 72-acre piece of property at the southwest corner of 191st and Harlem Avenue. This property was formerly owned by Lincoln Way High School District 210 and is now owned by GSP Development, who will be responsible for developing it. The village also proactively took on nearly $8 million infrastructure project to bring needed utilities to vacant land on and adjacent to LaGrange Road. We recently contracted with Speece Construction to expand utilities from 179th Street to 183rd Street, a project which will be completed by the end of the year and coincide with the Loyola project mentioned earlier. Will County is also going to be widening 80th Avenue from 183rd Street to 191st Street. Several new restaurants have chosen Tinley Park as their home too. In addition to 2 recent Starbucks locations in town, we will soon be welcoming Hillgrove Tap into the space formerly occupied by Tribes Ale House. RJ Seafood is moving in the former Tin Fish restaurant near 183rd and Harlem. And Flipside Brewing, which is opening up where 350 Brewing was previously located. The Downtown Tinley Grant Program has been another successful great project, both for the village and the business that take part in it. One of our #1 priorities as a village to help assure the community has long-term viability. The Downtown Tinley Grant Program helps us encourage our downtown Tinley businesses owners to invest in and improve their respective properties. Success stories include Scoop Ice Cream Shop, Sip Wine Bar. If anyone's familiar with Sip Wine Bar, you'll know all the hard work that Neil put into making sure that the downtown is successful in that building. The Veterinarian Clinic of Tinley Park, Avocado Theory Restaurant, and Cousins Tavern. Harmony Square is another exciting development in downtown Tinley along North Street that will be a public plaza with scheduled events at least 250 days of the year. It will be a destination for residents and regional visitors alike, and a great draw for all of our downtown businesses. The project is on hold while the village works to obtain the final parcel of property from landowner who wants 8 times the value of that land. And while legislation for the village to obtain the final parcel to start construction was stalled again by Senator Hastings, we believe we will be able to obtain the property through the court system. Late last year, the village began redirecting a portion of the accommodation tax toward the development of its Life Amplified brand. This will result in new promotional materials, a tourism-focused website, and advertising, among all other things. This change helps us better promote Tinley Park and its amenities, such as the Tinley Park Convention Center and our 10 hotels, soon to be 11 with the addition of a new Holiday Inn. Our wide variety of restaurants and the future Harmony Square. You'll quickly begin to see some regional advertising to help in this effort. Here's a concept video that our staff has been working on.
In Chicago's southwest suburbs, there's a village that follows its own beat. With one of the country's most popular music and entertainment venues, a cutting-edge convention center, and plenty of choice bars and restaurants, life in Tinley Park just feels more amplified. That's why so many people choose Tinley Park for everything from weekend getaways to business meetings, family reunions to trade expos. So if you're coming to hang out, dine out, or rock out, you'll find Tinley Park has just the vibe you're looking for. Whether you're getting together with a couple of friends or a couple of thousand, Tinley Park is the place to experience your life amplified.
We've seen an increase in our live music offerings at the Music in the Plaza and block party events, and the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater has also added more shows to its schedule this year. We have a great majority of the bars, restaurants, and clubs in town that offer a wide variety of live musical experiences. Our brand is taking off and will help support our businesses by bringing more potential customers to our downtown. Before turning the mic over to our next speaker, I just wanted to thank our hardworking staff. They are in the trenches every day, working to serve our residents and businesses. We have a fantastic team of employees, and I'm impressed every day with the quality and the quantity of their work. Many thanks for attending this morning. I will continue to put businesses first. Once again, your success is our success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Glotz. A lot of exciting projects going on in Tinley. Looking forward to Harmony Square and some of the other new ones coming. Next, we have a presentation from Laurence Msall, who is the president of the Civic Federation, which is an independent, non-partisan government research organization founded in 1894. Yes, 1894. Its membership includes business and professional leaders from a wide range of Chicago area corporations, professional service firms, and institutions. The Civic Federation seeks to assist public policy opinion leaders in the Chicago area and to advance issues such as property tax reform, tax simplification, privatization, and joint purchasing with the objective of improving government efficiency and financial accountability. Laurence is a licensed attorney and a 1992 graduate of Loyola University School of Law, Evening Division. He holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree from Knox College in Galesburg, Illinois, and is a 1980 graduate of St. Ignatius College High School in Chicago. We're very fortunate that he's agreed to come here today to share his economic insights, so please join me in welcoming Mr. Laurence Msall.
Thank you for that very kind introduction. Thank you to Mayor Glotz and to Donna for inviting me here to speak. Certainly a lot of great things are going on, as the mayor said, in Tinley Park. It's wonderful to see. It's been a really different kind of last 2.5 years for all of us. And just to be back in a large room like this with so many business leaders looking so optimistically at the future is wonderful. So the biggest issue probably facing Tinley Park, and you probably recognize it over time, is our state of Illinois and the condition of our finances. So for many years, Illinois has been rather reckless in its finances and run up very considerable deficits. The state's financial condition is one of the worst in the United States. That is not a good thing for Tinley Park. It's not a good thing for the state of Illinois. We have the lowest rated credit of any state. But right now, things are looking much better in Illinois. Right now, the state has benefited from really an economic surge that was not expected when COVID first hit. That caught the state officials and many of us off guard in a positive way. We didn't spend money we didn't have. We ended up generating more revenue. The state generated more revenue, especially on sales, especially remote sellers, and the state was able to collect sales tax for that. It had for a long time one of the largest backlog of bills. That's how the state was financing its operations. It was meeting its constitutional requirement that the governor and various governors would introduce what was proposed as a balanced budget, as the state constitution provides, and then the General Assembly would do their work, and they would announce that they had passed a budget. And it may have met the letter of the law or the Constitution, but it certainly didn't meet the spirit. What we basically did was that we let our unpaid bills grow and grow to at one point in the last, about 4 years ago, the state's unpaid backlog was over $16 billion. The state was putting a self-inflicted interest penalty for its vendors in order to keep them to the table, to keep working, of sometimes as much as 12% a year. This had a phenomenally negative impact on state, on our human service providers, and on the reputation of Illinois General. Another big challenge for the state of Illinois is our unfunded pension liability. Many of you may be aware of it. The state of Illinois currently has about $140 billion in unfunded liabilities. What that means is that the state has the promise of pension benefits without the assets to generate the finances to secure that going forward. So right now, as I said, things are looking better. State of Illinois' credit rating, which if you need an independent or outside review of it, is not good. We're the worst rated credit in the United States. Recently, there's been some upgrades by the credit rating agencies. That is positive news, but that's basically like lifting the Titanic from the bottom of the sea. We have gone up, which is progress. It is better than being at the bottom, but we would rather be above water. Above water would be where probably many other states are, where most other states are, at least a fully A-rated, or in the case of 13 states, AAA rated. Why does that matter to you as business people or to citizens? Because it costs our government a lot of money when we're so poorly rated. Every time the government has to borrow, it has to go pay interest on that in order to secure that financing. We pay a much higher penalty by having the lowest rated credit. Again, good news, we've moved up and we want to keep moving up, but unless the state moves forward and addresses its high level of debt, its unfunded pension liabilities, and several other areas that need improvement, we're going to be stuck at the place we don't want to be. COVID, as I said, is really what has dominated. The economic disruption caused by it really exposed the financial challenges of our state, our local governments, our city, and our county. The governments responded in the only way they could, which was to try to protect the citizens, try to make sure that we were going to get through this. I think the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago and the county of Cook and all local officials were attempting to work together. They don't always work together. And I think the good news really was not only did we get through it, but the federal government really came forward to help our state, not just Illinois, not just Chicago and Cook County or in Tinley Park, but cities and states all over the country received enormous financial assistance from the federal government. The biggest contributor for the federal government, from the feds to the state, was over $8 billion in direct revenue support to the state of Illinois. And although Illinois was able to access earlier funds, including being one of the only two governments that's borrowed from the federal government during the beginning of the COVID crisis, the actual revenue support that was provided had more to do with stabilizing our state than anything we would, I think, I certainly was imagining was going to happen. And then, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the economic recovery, the growth of state sales tax revenues and income tax, especially personal income tax. You talked to the Illinois Director of Revenue, as I did a couple of weeks ago. Even they were caught off guard by the amount of revenue the state continues to generate from its tax structure. Big question remains, right, is that what happens next? Will this convention center, will the McCormick Place Convention Center in Chicago fill up with business travelers that are coming here to do business? We don't know. That's probably the biggest question, what's going to happen economically. That has a bearing on this, certainly on Tinley Park being drawn into the benefits of conventions, business travel, the wonderful hotels that you have here. It has an exponentially large impact on the city of Chicago. Its finances are tied to the hospitality industry. We have built a really travel dependent with our airports and our convention business at McCormick Place, Navy Pier. All of those publicly financed facilities are highly reliant on getting back to a level of activity that we're not at. If you talk to most business owners in downtown Chicago or in the central business community, we're at about 30%, some of the better office buildings in terms of the return to work. The COVID, the ability for many people found to work remotely is having a very significant impact on downtown Chicago. What we don't know, again, is business-related, convention-related travel into the city. I wish I didn't have to talk about this. It's not on one of the slides. One of the biggest challenges is the reputation of our city and our state for violence. The gun violence remains completely unacceptable. The level of fear and anxiety by people in the city of Chicago facing the unacceptable level of gun violence, the carjacking. I think the most shocking little factoid I would give you, the auto show. We were all very, very happy when the auto show opened up last February at McCormick Place. It was not quite as big as we wanted, but at least we had the auto show back. We had a lot of people there. But there was a booth from the Cook County Sheriff explaining to the visitors what to do if they're involved in a carjacking in Chicago. Absolutely a beneficial service, I guess, from the sheriff's office to people, but really for me, so almost knocked the wind out of me in terms of what message we're sending to visitors to our city, that they need to prepare for carjacking. That has to be addressed. Part of it is very much tied to the COVID and the lack of people downtown. The lack of, we're all much safer when there's regular business travel, when Metro is operating fully, when people feel safe and feel compelled to come downtown. Hopefully the weather is going to break, right? Will bring more people downtown. But again, it's the business travel that really, I think, is the unknown. And because we didn't have a long-range plan, because we were highly leveraged, because we had unfunded pension liabilities, all of that was exposed during COVID. I already talked a little bit about the major relief packages. Let me just say, if there are any federal officials here, or you have friends who are federal officials, thank them for all the money they sent to Illinois and to Chicago and to Cook County, as well as to Tinley Park. That money was well spent in the perspective of the Civic Federation. The governor used that money, and the state legislature responded in a positive way. They didn't build a big budget cliff that they're not going to meet next year. They didn't make the structural changes that the Civic Federation very much has been advocating for, addressing our pensions, addressing consolidation of the local governments, recognizing that with over 6,978 units of local government, more than twice any other state, that's an expensive operation and administration. We need to get serious about that. You as business owners all know we pay significant property taxes in Illinois. We pay some of the highest property taxes in Cook County in the country. And businesses pay a disproportionate amount of those property taxes because of our classification system. If we're going to be serious about addressing property taxes, we need more effort by the General Assembly. We need more recognition that governments need to operate more efficiently. I was pleased to hear the mayor talk about what efforts were made here in Tinley Park in order to operate more efficiently, not to have to go to unnecessarily to the taxpayers. But we have some structural irregularities in Illinois that are different than our surrounding states that we are competing with for businesses and for people. And we need to get serious about that if we're going to take advantage of all the great assets the mayor pointed out and that has been pointed out. Our transportation, our people, our universities, all those things are very positive, but we have to keep drawing people to Illinois. We can't afford to be losing them to the surrounding states because they're afraid of violence, because they're afraid that their kids are not going to have the same economic opportunity, or that the tax structure isn't fair to them. Again, I've covered a little bit of this, the state of Illinois budget. It is balanced as far as we could tell. The state of Illinois has a very unusual, not for itself, but for other states. It basically passes its $46 billion budget in the middle of the night, and then you can look for copies of it online afterwards. And so our staff is still going through the budget document, but it was very telling to me because the amount of detail that is there, the amount of information that is there in those appropriate bills really questions whether our legislature is actually doing its job to oversee what the budget is. Someone or some group of people may know some parts of this budget, but as we saw last year, when the General Assembly passed the budget but forgot to put in an enacting clause in the document that they passed in the middle of the night, mistakes are made, things are left out, and the review is not optimal by the General Assembly. So the Civic Federation continues to urge our state legislators and administration to be more transparent, to take more time, to use this time that the federal government has provided with all of this revenue support, with all of this money, to come up with a long-term sustainable plan for our state that helps local governments, that helps businesses provide the jobs, and that provides the core services that we need. That is missing right now. We don't have a long-range plan. We're in better shape than we've been in a couple of years and many years because of the federal relief, because of the surge in revenue. But we're in uncharted times, right? We're in the middle of a war that's affecting, the price of everything from petroleum to precious metals. What's that going to do to our economy? What's that going to do as we go forward? Inflationary pressures, what that will be. We need to make sure that Illinois is well positioned. The governor's budget did include some very positive things. For the first time, they put $1 billion in the rainy day fund. For the longest time, Illinois not only didn't have a rainy day fund that acted as if it would never rain again. They basically spent all the money and more that they had. They made extra contributions to the pensions. That's good. It's going to help, but with the overhang we have, we need something more structural. We need to stabilize, and we need to not overburden our businesses and our residents with just an unreasonable property tax burden. Local governments are under the thumb of the state of Illinois. You heard from the mayor about the difficulties of getting legislation related to the Tinley Park Mental Health Center. Things happen all the time where our state officials decide, or a couple state legislators decide, that it would be good for Tinley Park to provide more benefits to their employees. Not because Tinley Park negotiated that as part of their collective bargaining agreement, but because the legislature wants to reward someone. In the case of the city of Chicago, benefits are added against the objection of the mayor and the city council for everything from firemen's pension benefits to teachers' benefits to all across the board. That's not healthy. We have to align the state of Illinois with its recognition that if it wants to add benefits, that if it wants to increase costs to local governments, it needs to provide a mechanism to pay for them rather than pushing it down. Right now, because of the way our pension systems operate, that the local pensions are paid by property taxes, and the state legislature determines who's on those boards, who gets the benefits, what all of the important decisions are affected by state statute. It's a disconnect. You have a body down in Springfield granting benefits, and you have the rest of you here in Tinley Park paying for them or figuring out how to pay for them. We believe strongly, and I know that the The police, I think your fire department went into the Consolidated Investment Board. That was a step in the right direction recently when the state established or passed a law to allow for the some 600 separate local police and fire pension funds to be, at least have their management overseen by a singular investment. Even though things are looking very good, things are looking positive in the short term, really we need to have forward thinking, taking advantage of long term where we're headed. What are we doing on policing? What are we doing to make people feel safer? What are we doing to make our city, state, and communities as attractive as possible? Just in summary, the Civic Federation continues to work with the governor, with the legislature, with whoever will listen, the editorial boards, mayors, groups like this, to try to get us, our leaders, to lift their heads up and look at what other states are doing. Where is our competition? What are they doing differently? How are they delivering services without having so many units of government? What can we do to get rid of Illinois' reputation for not being transparent, for not being a best practice? Certainly, we have a lot of reputational damage to do, in particular on crime and on violence, and it's leaking all over the state of Illinois. It's a national problem, right? Chicago is not unique in having the level of unrest, having the level of gun violence, but we need a concentrated impact of all of our local officials and state officials working together under a common plan. We believe that it's essential that the city of Chicago be healthy and vibrant in order for Tinley Park, in order for Will County, in order for Sangamon County, in order for the entire state to be healthy. It is the engine, and the issues that affect Chicago affect everyone in the state of Illinois in some way. So we need those government leaders to be working together. With that, I would say thank you so much for this opportunity. I'll answer any questions if you have them, or if you want to get back to your day jobs, that's okay too. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Msall. Before we wrap up here, I think I'll just bring up a couple of things that I took away or points of interest. As far as Mr. Msall mentioning the bond rating for the state of Illinois, one thing that I believe I have it correct, that Tinley Park has a AAA or is a AA bond rating, which is very highly rated for a municipality in the United States. And that represents the fiscal policy, the diverse business environment, and the progressive nature of our elected officials. So thank you very much for all your hard work on that, and Brad Bettenhausen, who's been a very big part of that since 1894. The ECC also looks forward to working with village staff, trustees, developers, and business owners and any of our next big new projects in Tinley Park. So if you ever have any questions, always feel free to reach out to any elected officials or any of us on the commission. And lastly, I 100% agree with Mr. Msall that I hope the weather breaks soon. I'm tired of 45 and rain. So on behalf of the entire Economic and Commercial Commission of the Village of Tinley Park and our elected officials, thank you for joining us this morning. Have a great day.